Welcome to Love of the Game. I'm your host, SJ, and thank you for tuning into our NBL1 East podcast, episode 2, Zachery Hudson's journey to the NBL1 East. How are you today, Zach, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Excited to be on the podcast, man. I've been waiting on an invite from you for a little while now.
Yeah, I was watching you ball last year, man, for the Inner West Bulls. And yeah, you were doing your thing. If anyone that hasn't seen Zachery Hudson, bro, the guy's a high flyer, and he's going to be doing his thing this season for the Hills Hornets, which is an interesting move that he's made this season. We're going to talk about that. Before we start the show, I just want to tell everyone to kick back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Then you coming up outside, now inside. That's why they give you hundreds of pounds. Now you know you can spit it. You got the whole run vibing the same. You ain't doing it to rock and change. You got love for the game.
Now, before we start the show, I'd like to thank our two sponsors. You can see their logos there on the side. First one, Beneath the Surface. Through the power of breathwork and empowering experiences, they'll break through your limitations and unlock your full potential. Now, they got a great program, the Shakedown Alpha Pack, for any men that are struggling or want to kind of take that next level. Give them a follow. And also, Pinpoint Physio. Got an injury? We'll sort you out at Pinpoint Physio. Our team treats everything from sports niggles to workplace strains for all patients of all ages. They've also run the Shire Fracture Clinic, a top alternative to spending hours in emergency. Our physios and orthodocs work together to get you back faster on your feet. So if your body's letting you down, the team at Pinpoint Physio got your back. Now, Zach, got to talk about it, man. Your move to the Hills Hornets, man. How'd that come about?
Well, it came about like sort of in the summer. My agent reached out to me and he just let me know that a couple teams in the East were interested in me actually. So, and I just felt like the Hills would have been the best situation for me personally, just with what I was trying to do with my game and with just trying to be the best player I could be. I felt like Hills was going to give me the best opportunity to do that.
And now you've been there for a couple of weeks. How's the vibe there at Hills Hornets and how are you finding it?
I'm loving it right now. The vibes are great. You know, teammates are great. Coaches is great. Everything's just been a good experience for me so far. So I'm just ready to get playing with this team, man, just to see what we can do.
Now, you made a point there where you said Hills Hornets was kind of like the right fit for what you wanted to do this season. What is it that you want to do this season?
Basically, like this season, I'm just trying to be better than what I was last year. I felt like I left a lot on the table and I didn't put my best foot forward. And I just felt like I could have did more. So with Hills, I'm just looking just to expand every part of my game and just look better than what I did last year.
You looked great last season too, man, averaging over 13 points a game, 6 rebounds, and shooting over 49% from the field, man. So, and the thing about your game is, bro, you're smooth in the mid-range. You kind of attack the basket. But, hey, that athleticism, bro, how old were you when you first dunked the basketball?
Man, I'm not going to lie. When I first, I wasn't always tall. So, I really wasn't dunking, at a young age. I really wasn't even playing basketball really at a young age. So, I probably could start dunking to, high school, maybe senior year. That's when I really started dunking the ball. And I was like, oh, once you start dunking, then that's all you want to do really. So that really was my game. At first was just dunking, trying to dunk on people. So I think maybe 16, 17, when I first 15, 16, 17, that's when I first started dunking the ball.
Yeah, because the thing that I love about it is, I know last year my first guest was Chris Bryan, and he kind of went from Inner West Bulls to Hills Hornets too. So he kind of made that same switch. But hey, the kids there, they love the Hills Hornets NBL1 East squad. So yeah, man, they're going to be kids kind of watching you play and dunking and things like that. So you're definitely going to be a fan favorite, and can't wait to see that. Because as I said last season, you were playing in a stacked Inner West Bulls squad, and at the start of the season, man, you were getting solid minutes, but then kind of towards the end of the season, I saw a few 20-minute games. What was that like, and kind of what can you learn from that to kind of help progress this season and kind of lead the Hills Hornets to finals?
Yeah, it was tough, just not being able to go out there and play as much as I wanted to, and I felt like there was more that I could do for the team, but I just was grateful that I was able to play the minutes that I was playing. And this year, I just want to be able to be on the court as much as I can, just to prove, I guess, to my teammates, coaches, everybody that I do this game, which I know like I can play this game at a high level. So I just wanna show the best of what I'm capable of doing.
Yeah, and honestly, I can't wait to see it because you're going to have a lot more opportunities there at the Hills Hornets. So definitely going to see a massive jump from that 13 points per game. So I can't wait for that. Now, one player in particular that I want to talk about in the Inner West Bulls is Alex Higgins-Titcher. He kind of took that jump and went to the NBL as a development contract player. And then, bro, he was balling. I don't know if you're keeping up to date with kind of his career overseas, but what was that like? And how much faith and confidence does it give you, like that the NBL1 East can actually help propel your career to the NBL? Because I'm guessing you got dreams of that also.
Yeah, of course, my boy AT Ski, that's my dog, man. I knew once he got to the NBL, I knew what he was gonna do because I was already seeing the spurts. Well, not even the spurts, the games that he was having and the stuff that he was doing. And like, I'm not even gonna lie. One time, like we in practice, and AT went and got one of my shots off the backboard, and I was like, "Yo, like people don't do that often." So I was like, "Yeah, I know he was gonna be one of those ones for sure." Early on, I had saw that out of AT, so I never had it down my mind once he was gonna be a DP player that he was gonna even get on the court and start getting minutes, and I think he even started some games too for them. So I knew that was bound to happen eventually.
Yeah, because he struggled to get any minutes, any game time at the start, and then he had one game. I think they were getting pumped by about 20 or 30 points, and in like 4 minutes he got 4 points and 4 blocks, and then Coach Ford's like, "Oh, hey, we've got to get this guy on
Yeah,
the court a bit more."
exactly.
But yeah, as an import coming into the NBL1 East, how much does that kind of give you confidence that like, hey man, like this league can kind of propel me to get to where I want to get to?
Yeah, as you can see, the signings and all the noise that's been going around with the NBL East this year, like it's a league that I feel like it's growing and it's just getting better and better each season. Like with the competition level and just the players that are coming in and the experience that's coming in with the players and coaches that's actually coming into the league. So I feel like the NBL East is just like it's really a slept on conference, but I feel like we're one of the toughest conferences in the NBL one actually.
No, 100% agreed. And bro, some of the signings were some monster signings. I kept thinking, I'm like, fuck, he's not going to get any better than this. And then bang, 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 just kept getting better and better, man.
Yeah, it was
What do you make
crazy.
of that when you were kind of seeing all the signings that coming into the league? How, as a player and kind of like as a competitor, did you kind of see that?
I loved it actually. I was ready. I've been ready to get out here so I can start working with my guys. And I just was seeing everybody, all the moves that were being made, even the players that left the Bulls and where they was going. Like I saw Billy went to the Comets, and I felt like that was a great pickup for the Comets. I can't even, like lie or fake it because Billy just what he brings to a team. Like great, Billy was a great teammate at the Bulls, like great person. You know what I'm saying? Even better guy. So. And then he locks down on defense. So I just felt like just seeing everybody go different places. And I was just like, yeah, the league's going to be super tough this year. So,
Yeah, because we're going to go through it. I'm actually going to go through like the teams and kind of some of the signings. And
yeah.
you were kind of opposition to some of these teams last year. So it's going to be interesting to see what your kind of thoughts are. We'll start off with our grand finalists, the Maitland Mustangs. They lost Matty Gray to the Bandits and William Cranston at Leon, but they signed Manjo Worthy. And I can't wait to see Christian Little kind of being able to run his team and the return of Billy Parsons coming from a long injury. What do you make of that Maitland team? Can they go back to back this season, or is William Cranston a tough loss that they might struggle to bounce back from?
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be a tough loss losing a two-time MVP from your team. But when they signed Mandrell, like, that's my guy, too. We talk a lot, always sending jokes back and forth. Like, he's a funny dude. But I feel like that was a great pickup for them as well. Like, he brings a lot of experience scoring, and he can play defense, too. He can guard as well. So I feel like that was a good pickup. And they already still have all the championship pieces. Like, one person doesn't make a championship team. So they still have all the players and coaching that they had from last year that's gonna bring Mandrell in and just gonna help him buy into the culture and to the system. So they should be all right. They'll be fine.
Yeah, because Mandrell was a MVP finalist, but he was balling out for Norths. They also missed out on the finals last season, but yeah, welcome addition to that team. Now you also got the Canberra Gunners, man. They're running a back. They're running a back. That trio of Glenn Morrison, William Mayfield, and James Toohey. What do you make of the Gunners? And I've got to ask also, man, how much do you hate that road trip down to Canberra, Aubrey, and do you get used to it?
Ah, man, the Canberra Aubrey trips, man. Like, uh, I think Aubrey was the worst one. Like, that's so far. Like being on the bus that long, like that trip was far. And the Canberra trip wasn't too bad. Like, it still was a little ways too, but it wasn't as bad as Aubrey. And Canberra's gonna be good as well. Like, they've been in the, I think, championship game like 3 years straight. I think they won maybe one or two. I'm not sure how many they have won, but I feel like that team's still going to be tough with Glenn Morrison and William Mayfield as well. So they are going to be a tough team to beat as well. So like every team, I feel like this year is going to be somewhat okay.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I'm saying it, because then you got Manly Seagulls, Center of Excellence, the Albury Bandits. They signed Jasper Rentoy, and they got their two imports in Freeman and Allen. The Inner West Bulls, man, they're running it back with Tony Tolovai, Nico, Raymond Cowell, and also Johnny. But bro, a host of new names, man, host of new names. So it's going to be interesting to see how that squad pulls up. And then you got the Sydney Comets, Vili, and bro, Boali Bowles, after last season's snub, bro, I think he's going to go apeshit in this competition this season.
Yeah.
And then the Bankstown Bruins signing Kadee. And the reason why I mentioned that is, bro, you look at that top eight, you don't really know who might bounce off it, who might fall off. And then you got the Hills Hornets signing yourself, the Sharks signing NBL talent, Jason Spurgeons, and the Crusaders, who for me might be a dark horse in that competition. Elijah Washington and Garrick Young, and then Illawarra, Todd Blanchfield from the Illawarra Hawks. Bro, this competition is stacked. As a competitor, bro, how excited are you to just go, fuck, man, I can't wait to just dig in.
Yeah, I'm excited because you never want to play like games like that you just blow out people. Like, you don't, as a competitor, as a basketball player, you don't want to play games like that. You want to play games that's like gonna bring the best out of you every time. Like, you know, you got to be your best on the court to beat somebody. So that's the basketball that I want to play, and that's the basketball I'm looking to play. So I'm just ready for the season to start, man. I'm eager to get out there again.
Yeah, because, man, like just thinking about it, it's like, bro, every single game, whether it's round 1, round 3, round 4, it's all going to matter this season, because last season, the ladder got congested real late in the season, and all those early season wins can come very, very handy.
Exactly.
But what do you make of this Hills Hornets squad that you guys are in at the moment, and who's kind of some names that we should look out for this season?
Yeah, I think we're going to be a team that most people are going to be sleep on, and we're gonna show everybody that we're coming to play. This is not the same team from last year. A lot of the players are the same for last year, but we coming with a different mentality. We're coming to win. We're not backing down from anybody, and I feel like it's a lot of guys out here like Meekness Payne. He's one of the other imports that signed with me at Hills. He's somebody to look out for, especially. And I just feel like we have a couple of guys like my guy Foy. I feel like Saxon's gonna make a big jump. Pave, Liam Moss. So I feel like we have the pieces that we need to be a great team. So it's just gonna be on us to put them all together and make it happen.
And as a leader of this squad, as I said, like you're one of the two imports in the team. How can you help these young guys kind of help elevate their game also?
Just by instilling confidence in them and just keeping them on the right track, keeping them focused. Don't let them get too down on themselves, and just let them know that I'm always gonna have their back. I'm in their corner 24/7. If they need me for anything, I'm here. And just trying to just build a great chemistry with the team, with the coaches, and just make sure everybody knows that like we in this together. Like we gonna make stuff happen this year.
Yeah, because I love that Hill Hornets team. I was there a few times last season, but everyone's just so welcoming. Get a solid crowd. All the kids kind of get involved. And I heard they had one of the best canteens in the competition, man. Have you kind of experienced that yet?
Yeah, I definitely be at the canteen, give me some food and snacks, man, all the time when they're having little games and stuff right now. So I definitely experienced that. I gotta stay away from there though.
No, good. What's your weakness when you see hot
chips? Chips are like the chicken nuggets and fries, like gummy worms. I have to stay away from there. They have like a little slushy machine too. Like I be trying not to get too many slushies, man, because they be good though.
Yeah, so anyone watching any Hills Hornets game this season, stack your pockets with some coins, bro, because you're going to be spending it in the canteen. Now, I want to ask about your career. Look, how did you come across the NBL1 East, and how did the opportunity arise?
I think the NBL1 East came across from my agent. my agent Reese, he's actually based in Australia, so he lives in like Melbourne. So he reached out to me about the after I left Azerbaijan, he reached out to me about coming to Australia for the next season and trying to get me involved and telling me that some teams are interested in me. So he brought that to the table, and I just was eager to hop on it just because I heard good things about the league and about the country. So I just wanted to come out here and experience that for myself.
And what do you enjoy the most about Australia? And what's on a kind of a stereotype that like Americans have about Australia that kind of just went like, fuck, it's as crazy as it seems, or it's not as bad as it seems?
Oh, like I guess the stereotype of Americans about the like animals and insects. Like I haven't really seen like, especially kangaroos. They're like, oh, my family always talk about, oh, you seen some kangaroos? And I'm like, bro, I haven't seen not one kangaroo or no giant spiders or nothing like that. So that's one stereotype that they always be asking me about, like animals and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, it is a lot of like crazy little birds and stuff that I be hearing all the time, but nothing too wild. So it's all right.
Yeah, because you were living in the Sydney, in the city. It's not too bad
Yeah, I
over
was
there.
living in
Once you
like,
go out west a
yeah.
bit.
Yeah, I was living in the city part, so I wasn't really seeing too many like animals and stuff like that.
Nah, beautiful. Because you also talked about your experience at Azerbaijan, but you were also at Malta and Georgia. What was that experience like playing overseas ball? And what's the difference between the quality over there in those leagues and kind of like the NBL1?
I would say like Malta, that was the first league that I was in. Actually, when I was in Malta, it was me and Sean Montague's first year. So Sean Montague was actually my other import signing. He was my teammate in Malta. So that was my first year playing overseas, and that league was just, it was like a sort of a lower league. So the competition level wasn't as high as it was here. So I just wanted to really just try to dominate that league and just like show people that I can play at a higher level. So I just wanted to, everywhere that I went, I wanted to just elevate myself and just try to elevate my game to higher levels so that I can just keep growing and keep moving forward.
You were playing with Sean Montage in Malta, but how many dunks were you guys getting in the game?
Oh my God, like we was it probably was like 4, 5, 6 dunks a game for real. Like we was going crazy. Then he was so fast. Like Sean's actually so fast, bro, when he be running. So I just used to just be chucking the ball. He'll be gone already, just gone on the rim. Like, yeah, Sean's a good player.
Beautiful. And then before you kind of went overseas, you had a successful college career.
Mhm.
Kind of did your thing at Central Baptist College. Back-to-back titles over there. What was that experience like? And what was the biggest lessons that you learned from your coach over there that kind of kept sort of instilled in you till now?
I think that was just like two great years. Probably my two of the best years I had playing basketball. The most fun that I had playing basketball, just with the group of guys that I was with. Like I still talk to majority of them every day. Like so, and the things that I learned from that coach that was just something that just instilled in me is he used to say, tough times pass. I forgot the saying, like tough times pass, but tough people do it. Something like that. It's on my championship ring. I left it at home. But that was something that always stuck with me, that little saying that he used to say all the time. So that was like a big lesson that I learned from him. And just playing at CBC, it was just fun. We was a stacked team both years, so we had a lot of people that could go put the ball in the basket. Every night it would be somebody different, being the leading scorer. So that was a lot of fun playing basketball there.
And coming to Australia, coming to a new country, like a different country from back home, what kind of keeps you sane?
Talking to my grandma, like I have to call her every now and again just to hear a couple little words of wisdom. She always preaching to me about something, like something I ain't doing right or something that I need to improve on. And I love that though, because I be needing to hear it, even though I might not want to hear it.
Uh,
But she's gonna tell me what I needs to hear every time. She's not gonna shy away from any conversation. And I think my aunt is this. She's probably 10 times worse than what my grandma. So I called both of them and they just lay it on me and tell me straight up like what needs to be said. So that's what I love about it. So that helps me to keep sane and just keeps me focused and balanced.
Beautiful. And one thing that I also want to find, like what I personally want to know is like when you guys come here to try to build like ball for the Hills Hornets, what do you do in your spare time? Like, do you kind of find part-time work, or how do you balance that kind of lifestyle and the kind of grind that you're going to be facing for the next 3 to 4 months?
Yeah, I do have part-time work. Like I help coach some of the rep rookie teams with the Hills Hornets. So like the under 12s, under 14, 16, even rep rookies, and I want to say like under 8s and stuff like that. So I work every day. Maybe even if it's only an hour, like I'm doing something every day with one of the teams within the organization. So I'm always having time. I'm always around. Like I don't just be sitting around, or I'm in the gym working, trying to get my game better. If I'm not in the gym working, I'm coaching the kids or I'm at practice. So that's
Beautiful.
pretty
Because
much
look,
what I do.
now I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit,
Hmm.
because I'm going to actually put up a ranking of my kind of like top 5 players that are in the NBL1 East. Who's your sort of top 5 players where you were watching last season and go, hey, like, man, this dude can ball?
My top 5 players. Am I including myself, or myself is not in it?
Right. If you want to include yourself, your top 5, your top 5.
All right, so I gotta put me in the top 5, but I would definitely say um Bawali for sure. He was a player that I was watching, like he just cooked us, like it was crazy in the playoffs. So I would have to say Bawali. I gotta give him his flowers, give him his respect. I would also say Mandrell. He was a player that I saw that just came in. As soon as he came in, it was just like a walking 25, 30 ball every night. So I gotta say him. Alex, Alex for sure. Like Alex will go get you a double double every night, high double double without even breaking a sweat. Really, he looked like he does it so effortlessly. Um, and then another player that I really like, I would say, uh, it's a lot. I don't want to hurt hurt nobody's feelings or nothing. But I liked I did like Davo's game, Davo Hickey down at Aubrey, and I also like Glenn Morrison too. So those two guys that I like, because me and Glenn battled a lot. So he's a big body to try to handle. So I always liked his game, and Davo as well. So they was players that I always thought like I respected a little bit.
And the reason why I asked that is, because, bro, like every player is kind of has different skill sets. Like, man, you can chuck in like Mason Bragg in there, like William Cranston Lown and things like that. Like, and now this season, bro, like the names just keep getting better and better too. That's joining in the league.
Yeah,
But you made an interesting point there when you said Glenn Morrison, because I know with the Inner West Bulls, you kind of sometimes you kind of a lot of the times you kind of went small because you didn't really have that big center,
yeah.
per se. How did you find that kind of playing center? And was that the first time you kind of had to take that role on?
Nah, it's not my first time having to take that role. I had to play center a lot, so I've always like had to battle guys that are bigger than me, but they also had to come guard me as well. So it was just as tough for them as it was for me. So with battling Glenn, it was always gonna be a long night. I'm probably gonna need help. I'm gonna need a double team. Like he's not somebody that's just you can put one person on him every possession and he's gonna get a stop. You might can contain him, but you're not gonna stop him every possession. So he's somebody that I always had to make sure I get some rest for.
And who was the toughest defender that you came up against last season?
Mm, toughest defender. Uh, I would have to give it to I don't want to say his name wrong. I apologize if I say his name wrong, but Obi always played me pretty tough. Like we always had good battles. Like we always had good things going. So he played me pretty tough every time I played Comets. So I played him twice, and he was probably the toughest defender that I had.
Now, hey, let's talk about that game against the Sydney Comets last season in the finals. But first things first, man, that crowd was electric. The
Hmm.
stadium was packed. How was it
Yeah.
playing in front of that crowd and that home crowd for you guys?
Oh, I love playing in front of the home crowd. I knew the people would come out, and I'm pretty sure they knew we was gonna put on a show for the game, and it was gonna be a good competitive game every time they came and played. So it was always fun to play. It's always fun to play in front of a big time crowd, no matter where you are.
Because for me personally, man, I have Sydney Comets like locked in my top 4 this season and probably one of my like grand final favorites to win it because Man, last season, the run that they went on to end the season was amazing.
Yeah.
And Bawali Bales went on a historic run, but I think he was averaging over 30 points, 2, 3 steals a game, playing defense. And then once he plays like that, the rest of the boys uplifted. But
Mm-hmm.
you also mentioned that key piece, man, Aubrey Kai, and also Big John, the big man.
Yeah.
Bro, they've probably got one of the best defensive front courts in the game. And now you add Villy. And then you got Chol. You got another year of Anthony Mundine kind of doing his thing. How deadly can the Sydney Comets side be this season?
They can be deadly. I think they definitely have the pieces to make another run and to go deep off in the playoffs unless they have to play the Hills Hornets or something like that. But I think they'll be pretty good, man. I think they'll be just fine this year.
And the goal for yourself, what is it this season? Like, what is it that you want to kind of accomplish or get done? What is it for yourself?
The goals for myself is just like probably my shooting percentages, like just getting them a little better and just really just trying to get this help the team, like help us get to the. That's all our goal, just as a whole, just helping the team. We want to make the playoffs. We want to go on a deep run. We feel like we have a team that can go out there and win a championship. So that's one of our main focuses is trying to be the best team in the league, exactly like everybody else is trying to do.
Beautiful, man. And look, you came to Australia, I think, pretty early to kind of put in the work. And I've been seeing your videos with the Hoops House, I think, putting in the work. What was your off season like, and what did you enjoy the most about your off season before coming back to Australia?
I'm not gonna lie, my off season was pretty hard. I was pretty hurt. I'm not gonna lie after that loss to the Comets in that first round. Like, so me going home, it was just like really uh just wanting to really get in the gym, just hone in on everything that I felt like I really needed to work on, like especially like shooting the ball from distance. Like my three ball, I really was working on that, trying to hone in on that to get it consistent more. My free throws, just focus on that, and just be better at anything I felt I was lacking or my dad or my trainers felt like I was lacking in, and just focus on that and just be better at it. So my off season was pretty good.
And do you get homesick during the time, or do you kind of like just go, you know what, I'm locked in here for the next 3-4 months. I'm going to enjoy my time here, or do you kind of think about like, man, back home sort of thing?
Yeah, you do get homesick, but like you just try to stay focused and just try to lock in and just know what the main goal is. So at the end of the day, you want to just reach your goal. So if if you want to make that happen, then sometimes it's going to be sacrifices, and this is just one of the sacrifices that you have to make.
I mean, and also, is there any major sports that you follow back home? Like, are you a big NBA fan, baseball fan by any chance?
Yeah, I'm an NBA fan and a baseball fan. Baseball was probably the sport that I was better at. That some people would say I played baseball as well growing up. So, but I'm a Lakers fan. Well, I'm a LeBron fan. Wherever LeBron go, I go. I'm one of those, man. So I'm with Bron and the Lakers right now. We looking pretty good in that 2 seed in the West. So, and I'm a New York Yankees fan as well. They let me
Oh,
down. They let me
no, don't
down,
tell
man.
me that, bro.
They let me down every year, man. But this gonna be our
Hey,
year. I feel like I say that every time, but we gonna finish it out this year,
because they got close. Because I'm a New York Met fan, bro. I love my baseball. Like, I actually play baseball.
man.
Here in Australia, I play baseball. So, hey, if you ever want to, like, swing the bat or play any baseball, bro, let us know. Come down to a
Oh
training.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna hit you up. I don't even need to be talked to you. I done took Juan Soto from me. I'm like, man, like this is crazy. I was praying we could offer him something to bring him back, but I guess y'all offered him a little more. So
Yeah, man. Because we did our NBL fantasy draft, and I had like the 5th pick, and then I got Juan Soto off the bat, bro. I was like, bro, give me that shuffle all day, every day.
yeah, Soto's man, that boy's a beast.
But also on that note, man, you're a Lakers fan.
Mhm.
When you kind of opened your phone and you saw a Luka Doncic traded for AD, what was your feeling like, and did you think it was real?
I was like, what? Like I was like, this got to be fake. I really thought it was fake at first, but I was skeptical. I'm not gonna lie, I was skeptical of it because I'm like, man, we losing a lot of defense with AD. Like, I'm like, we losing one of our main pieces, main scorers, and I think the game before he got traded, he had like 40 and 20. So I was like, man, why are we trading AD? But when I saw it for Luca, it was like,
You have to, you got to do it.
you gotta, it's all right. So, and you see what they're doing. They've been on like a crazy run so far since Luca then got traded over to the Lakers. So, hey man, I'm riding with it. I think LeBron LeBron and Luka can get it done.
And I want to ask, because look, as I said, me and my mates, we were kind of talking about it, but we didn't understand it. So I want to ask like an actual basketball player, kind of like your kind of, I guess, your version of it, of why the Lakers defense has actually got better since AD got traded. How the hell is that possible?
I just feel like they're going small, and they know once you know that you're missing like a big piece like that, everybody has to chip in now. So everybody has to be on their A game. Nobody can be lacking. Nobody can be missing assignments, thinking, "Oh, the big guy's back there to clean it up," because he's not back there no more. So there ain't no more straight line drives. There ain't no more, missing this closeout or missing this switch on the pick and roll. There's none of that going on anymore. So everybody has to be dialed in on their assignment on film and just play their role to the best of their ability. And that's what it looks like they've been doing.
Ah, beautiful, because that's exactly what I said. I kind of said everyone had to pick up, and you can kind of see that by just watching LeBron James, bro. Like,
Yeah.
he's 40 years old. He kind of does sometimes take a bit of possessions off and things like that, but bro, he's invested in this. And playing with Luka, man, fuck, man. And then you got Austin Reeves as your third piece.
Exactly.
I think the Lakers are second or third seed now in the West.
I think they're the second seed in the West right now.
Yeah,
The
they just beat
Nuggets
the
lost,
Clippers.
so I think and that pushed them to the second seed.
Beautiful, man. Now, look, I've got 4 love of the game fan questions asked by the fans. Going to be interested to see your take on this one. Which Hills Hornets teammate is going to throw you the most lobs this season?
Which Hills Hornets teammate? I really think it's gonna be Moss or Sachs. They already been throwing me a couple lobs in practice, so I think it'll be Moss or Saxon. Really, I'm gonna say Sachs. I'm gonna say Sachs. I think it'll be
Saxon. Beautiful. So that Saxon Hudson combination is going to be going off this season.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I love about it, bro, Silver Slashers, probably one of your biggest fans, bro. The clips that they post up of you.
Yeah, those my guys, man. Those my guys. Those good people, man. Of course, they always come through for me when I ask them to, or if they need something from me, like tell me they're coming through. I always look out for them. Those are good people for sure.
No, and I actually
Shout
love
out my
that.
guy Julian, man, and Silver Slashers, man. Shout out.
No, because I love that. Because there's like all the players kind of want to showcase their stuff, but you're kind of very, very open to kind of like always like collaborating or kind of just putting yourself out there to kind of do your thing. So just from my side, thank you, and I guess from everyone else that is kind of going to be following you, thank you to the fans from them.
Yeah, no problem, man.
The second
That's what
question.
it's all about.
No, 100%, and especially in the NBL1 East, man, like this exposure, those videos and things like that kind of just opens up the league and kind of puts your game out there more. So fingers crossed, after that, you can kind of get scouted and do your thing. What is your pre-game routine like?
My pre-game routine, probably like I make it to the gym. I gotta have my headphones in, listening to some music, something just to get me in game mode. And I try to get stretched out. Pause, that was crazy, but try to get a stretch in and just really listen to my music, focus on the game plan, and just like make sure I'm locked in on what I need to be doing and what my role is for today and what the team needs from me from this game. So I don't have like a really big routine. I might have like some candy. Like I always have to have like some candy before the game or something, but that's about it.
What's your top 2 songs before a game?
Top 2 before a game. I listen to so much music, like it'll probably have to be like some Lil Durk or maybe some Meek or something right before the game, some Gunna. So I'll probably say Gunna Payback. I listen to Gunna Payback a lot. And then I would say Gunna Payback. And it's another Gunna song that I always be playing. I want to say it's on the same album. Yeah, Gunna Payback and Back at It. That's 2 songs that I just feel like put me in that mode to just go out there and just go crazy before the game. So I need to listen to some hype just to get me in that mode.
There's nothing walking into the gym and having your headphones on and just like knowing you're about to ball up, man. Nothing beats it. Now, my third question is actually an interesting one because of what you said earlier. You love dunking the ball and things like that. Would you rather go bold or lose your ability to dunk? So you go bold and keep your ability to dunk, or keep yourself the way you are right now, but not be able to dunk again?
Man, I'll probably have to go ball, man. I'm not gonna lie. I just have to go ball. I don't want to be able to not dunk because that's like a big part of my game, being explosive. But yeah, Yeah, it'll probably be going ball for sure.
Nah, beautiful. Yeah, because as soon as you said it, I think early on in the show, we were like, nah, man, I got a dunk. I was like, I had this question lined up and I was like, let's see where he goes with this one.
Yeah, I gotta go ball for sure. I can't lose the bunnies, man. I need those for sure.
And the last question, who is your favorite NBA player of all time? You
LeBron
said it.
James, man. I let you know that's the greatest NBA player ever. I feel like he just done so much for the game, done so much for the league. It's just no denying what he's done, what he's put on paper, and what he's put on film. So it's just the proof's in the pudding. You just gotta look and see.
How many years does he got left?
Man, if he can, since Luka's over there now, and if Bron can play off ball, I can see him playing maybe like I think he got like 3 to 5 more years in him, really. Like if he's playing off ball, because he's still averaging what 28,
Mm.
8 and 8 right now. So at 40, and that's crazy. Like still putting people in the rim, like he's been dunking on just as many people as he dunked on at 40 as he is at 19. So it's like I don't know. I think he at
Mm.
least got like 3 to 5 more years in him.
Nah, yeah, same. I agree, man. Especially the off-ball thing where he doesn't have to do everything anymore. He's got Austin Reeves who kind of plays point when Luca can go off and he can handle that business himself. So yeah, man. Because bro, look, honestly, I cop a lot of hate for this, but yeah, LeBron's my goat just for that thing that you kind of said, where it's just like he plays the game the right way. And the thing that I love about him is I remember like every season I watch his videos from the start, like from when he was like 17, 16. And
Hmm.
he talks about him playing basketball this way where he goes, no, I want to get my teammates involved and things like that. And he's kept it the whole time, man. He hasn't kind of folded on the
Exactly.
way he plays. And you got to love it. And the longevity, man. Like everyone says, yeah, Jordan 6-0, stuff like that. But hey, LeBron gets there. Like he gets to the finals and you can't win it every year, but he always delivers, man. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's why LeBron's my
That's
guy. And
not
he also
somebody
stays
you
out of
want to
trouble.
see. Yeah, exactly. It's not somebody you want to see in the playoffs.
Yeah. Is there any player in particular where you kind of molded your game around, where you go kind of like you take bits and pieces from other people's games, where you kind of go like, I want to perfect this, I want to work on that?
I watch a lot of I really watch a lot of Carmelo's face up game, like his face up jab game. I watch a lot of that, like a lot of Carmelo, and I had a big a big brother, like more like a mentor to me that he passed away. So his game was like very similar to mine. So I always go back and watch his film and just take little things from his game that I know he'll be hating on me right now because he'd be like, man, you taking all my moves, everything I got, you just doing it now. But I just had to. We got like the same like body type, like 6'7", 6'8", can put the ball on the ground a little bit. So I go back and watch him, but Carmelo is definitely one that I watch a lot, just dealing with his face up game and how he gets to the basket and gets open on those jump shots in the mid range.
I'm sorry to hear about your mate also, but it's great that
Yeah,
you can still kind of watch his videos and kind of still, in a way, like still have that conversation with him, like, hey, bro, I'm going to learn this off you,
yeah,
things like that. So, no, it's gangster. But yeah, so look, that pretty much like wraps the show. But hey, I want to thank you so much for your time. I know it's a bit late and you got an early morning tomorrow.
yeah.
If you were coaching any of these young kids, 14, 16, 18 at Hills Hornets, what's the biggest message that you can kind of get to them for them to kind of like take their career to the next level? Because you kind of know in this business where it's like you have to be on your A game every single time, every single opportunity. You don't know who's watching. So what message can you give to the young guys and girls that are kind of balling up at the moment?
Message that I would give to younger players, guys and girls, is just never to lose confidence in yourself, never to give up don't give up on yourself, don't get too down on yourself, but you need to always be working on your game. There's always somebody else that's going to be working just as hard as you or in the gym just as much as you, and you don't want nobody to feel like they're outworking you, or you don't want anybody to feel like they're better than you, or you can't do what they do. So that's just my biggest message, I think. But just never lose confidence in yourself, and never let anybody tell you that you can't do something. Like if you put your mind to it and you put the work in, you can do whatever you need to do.
Nah, beautiful. And look, hey, I'm just gonna just put this out there. I don't know if you watched the podcast last week with the Bankstown Bruins boys.
Mhm.
I put a bet out there with Hayden Blankley for his rebounds. You want to get involved?
Oh, what was his bet on the rebounds?
Now, for him, it was getting over 7 rebounds a game because the first season he averaged 10, and then the next season I think he averaged 5. So I was like, hey, let's go. For yourself, you got 13 points per game at the moment. You want to put 18 points per game, $100 bet. You in or out?
What at 18?
18 for the season.
18 for the season. We can make that bet. We definitely can.
Right.
We can lock that in for the $100 for sure.
All right, done. Yeah, because I just want to kind of like be invested when I'm watching you play. You know, like I hope you actually get past that and things like that. I'm not sitting here saying, you know what, I want that, but I actually was seeing your stats last season at the Inner West Bulls, and bro, it was a D squad. I don't think you got as many opportunities as you kind of probably wanted or deserved. But yeah, at the Hills Hornets, it's going to be good to see you, boy, and I can't wait for it and excited. Any last words for yourself for the season, man? What can we expect from the Hills Hornets? Let's finish off this show in style. What can we expect from the Hills Hornets in 2025?
Hills Hornets, man, you can expect us to. We're coming prepared. We're coming strong versus any and everybody. We gonna guard. We gonna make it hell for you for 40 minutes of a game. Like you gonna work for every possession, everything that you looking for. You gonna come find when you come play the Hills Hornets. I promise you.
Nah, beautiful, man. And I saw that preseason game when you were versing the Hornsby Spiders. You're kind of flexing and doing your thing too, kind of introducing yourself to the Hills Hornets fan, man. So it's good.
Yeah, always, man. Always.
Are you going to be at the NBL1 Blitz?
Oh, of course. We'll be at the Blitz. So hopefully I'll see you.
Nah, definitely. Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay.
Kind of after my accident, I've kind of been slowly getting there. Today was kind of like the first time I actually watched a basketball game. Went down to the Bankstown Bruins. Akil was up against Vili in the grand final.
Oh yeah,
I saw that. I got to tell you about this game, man. Oh, bro, it was epic because I think it was 61-59, and then Akil kind of went off, and then Hills Hornets were, Vili's team was down by 3 points. And then he drives it in with 15 seconds to go, gets the N1. He missed the free throw, but Kill. But bro, it was just good to watch. He hit some clutch frees too, really, man. It was an epic game. But yeah, Kill got the chocolate. But it just kind of got me buzzing again for basketball and kind of getting back to normality in my life. And yeah, but I think I've been talking to you the whole off season and kind of was like, hey, bro, you coming back? And you're like, yeah. I'm like, oh man, what team? Like, what team? I won't lie. I thought Maitland Mustangs was going to be the team that you signed for, But then, yeah, when I saw Hills Hornets, I was like, hey, that's a gangster fit for you, man. So I can't wait for it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Beautiful. Take care. If you like the show, like and subscribe. And, yeah, thank you to Zachery Hudson for joining us today. And good luck for the season. And we'll definitely catch up with a follow-up show soon.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate you for having me on, man.
Man, that was my pleasure. And it was a long time coming.
Yeah, for sure.
Peace, everyone. Take care of yourselves and God bless.